All right, good morning, everyone. This is a detention docket for the 323rd District Court for Tuesday, January 26, 2021. To comply with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 33 related to coronavirus, we are not conducting in-person proceedings. However, we are using Zoom. But to comply with the Texas Supreme Court or Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, also known as the Open Courts Act, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube so the public can observe what occurs in a public courtroom. No portion of this live stream may be copied, recorded, or published. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and a $500 fine. This is still a court proceeding. People are expected to behave appropriately for court. That means please not be laying down. Please be dressed appropriately. Please not consume alcoholic beverages, use tobacco. Please refrain from having domesticated animals crossing the screen. Not use the lavatory or take showers while you are in court. Also, please do not have bright lights behind your head, as that often shadows out your face and makes seeing your face not feasible. So also, please not be in moving vehicles at the time of court. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with Shacolby Jackson. Are you Mr. Jackson or Miss Jackson?
It's Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson? You have Miss Jackson?
Price.
Shul, can you please call detention, let them know they're late to court? With Michael Berger. I'm sorry, Michael Berger. We have Breland Jordan.
Yes.
No, that's the same situation in NetPod.
Okay, well, Mr. Nava, please call there and tell them that they're late for court.
Yes, sir.
Nathan Knox. Are you Mr. Knox? Is that a yes? Is his microphone working? HPod, is his microphone working?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is he just refusing to talk to me then?
No, sir. He's just speaking softly through the mask. You can take the mask off while you're in here.
Are you Mr. Knox?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we'll provide one for you. Your attorney is actually Ms. Sherman. However, Mr. Berger, she's unable to make it. Mr. Berger is going to step in and be here to advise you if you need him. All right, Mr. Knox, you're 15 years old, and you were here in 2018 when you were 13 for theft of property. And then now, you're referred in. Let's see, January 18th, we responded to a burglary of a habitation call. They talked to the victim, said somebody broke into his house and vehicle. Things were taken from the home, including a child's bike, a TV, an iPad, and other items. The front passenger window was also broken out. There was a video that showed 3 white males about 2:30 in the afternoon coming to the neighborhood, enter the house, and leave the neighborhood. They identified Nathan as the suspect that was riding the stolen bike by tattoos on his hand. Do we have a parent here?
Yes.
Okay, so why is Nathan 15 and have a tattoo?
He got it whenever he was at a friend's house. They knew someone who had equipment and he got tattooed.
Okay. Just curious, Mom, but why haven't we got it removed?
I don't have the money to get a tattoo removed.
I understand they can be expensive. Okay, it's a fair question though. All right. So on the 21st, police responded to another burglary of a habitation call where 2 firearms are stolen. There were several firearms, 2 Glocks, an Aero precision rifle, Mossberg, a Ruger, a Mossberg Maverick, and a Smith & Wesson M&P. Victim said someone broke into his house during the day, stole firearms from a gun safe that was open. On the 22nd, police observed Nathan's Snapchat, which showed him trying to sell 2 Glocks, which the victim confirmed belonged to him. Police went to the house that Nathan was staying at and found several of the stolen items from the first burglary. On the 25th, Police went to Nathan's home. Nathan's mom and brother spoke to the police. Nathan was also home but refused to get out of bed. Nathan's brother admitted his involvement in the first burglary. Mom gave consent to search. Thank you, Mom. And Nathan was detained in his room search. They found an AR-type magazine, a sling containing shotgun shells, and a Glock, which the victim identified as belonging to him. So, Mom, I have a question. Where was he staying that wasn't your house?
Ian Lackey's grandfather's house.
Okay. All right. So there are several firearms recovered. Is that correct, Mr. Kroll? Mr. Kroll? I know he was in the building earlier.
Your Honor, going through the report, it only listed those as being recovered at this time. It didn't go into greater detail. I'm looking.
All right, Mr. Knox. So you and I haven't met before, but my thing is when kids have guns, I'm very, very concerned. And I tap the brakes on everything. When guns are used in crimes, that gives me even more concern. Yours is a little bit different. What gives me a lot of concern in your case is the fact that there were several weapons that are unrecovered. So if I feel like if I let you go, you would just go back to the guns that you have hidden somewhere and be a danger to yourself and the community. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Thank you, Mr. Knox.
Thank you, Judge.
Ultimate. Hello, Ms. Wade.
Hello.
Okay. Is Mr. Olive here?
I don't.
Mr. Olive.
Oh, there he is.
All right, Ms. Brown, can you call detention? Let them know that they're late with Mr. Olive. Okay.
Oh, he's here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Olive, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney, Mr. Youngblood, I believe, is here. Good morning, Mr. Youngblood. Mr. Youngblood? Mr. Youngblood. Edwin?
I apologize, Your Honor. I was talking to Judge Catalano.
That's
Can I
okay. That's okay.
Just another second.
You need
Okay,
to go and
Judge,
finish
I'll
that
see you
call.
at 9 o'clock then. Thank you, Your Honor. Bye. Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm done.
All right. I understand.
I was trying to do two meetings at the same time.
You're torn between two judges. I've been in a... All right, so Mr. Olive, let's see. You're a level 1 outstanding. You have been for 11 days. You were on probation for engagement in organized crime. I guess, Ms. Brown, that's for the organized like mail theft? Porch pirate? Ms. Brown?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay, so he was on probation. Was that the engagement in organized crime? But I'm guessing that's like being a porch pirate with other kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so January 12th, you're supposed to have an out of custody hearing for non-compliance with substance abuse treatment. On November 5th, we had an administrative hearing for you violating your probation like curfew, leaving home without permission. On November 18th, you were given a drug test, which was positive. November 25th, you ran away in the middle of the night. You came back after a few hours. November 26th, you had ran away from home in the middle of the night. November 28th, ran away from home middle of the night. You have excessive absences at school. December 16th, you're still smoking weed while on probation. January 11th, TRC, I guess, kicked you out. No, they told us that you keep on using drugs despite being in TRC. So, and Mom says you just come and go as you want. You're gonna live your own life. You also steal money from her. All right. So, Ms. Brown, is there any drug use other than marijuana?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm not inclined for TYRC. I mean, I don't know anything. I mean, smoking weed is a choice. It's not an addiction,
Mm-hmm.
unless people can show me any kind of study otherwise. So, yeah, I don't think TYC is an option. Have we done a placement search?
No, Your Honor, we have a resource staffing scheduled for March the 3rd, I want to say. And we scheduled it so late because we were waiting for the psychological evaluation to come back. So it's scheduled to come back on the 1st. So his resource staffing is March 3rd.
Okay. Let's go into a placement search also.
Okay.
I think that's probably more appropriate. I don't think TRC is going to work. I don't know, just from what I can tell, it's more of a behavioral issue than a substance abuse issue. And so for the placement search, I'm not really concerned about drug treatment, not for marijuana, but as far as his behavioral and attitude problems, I think that's the bigger issue, right?
Okay.
So, but I see a high level of manipulation from this child. So, all right, so Mr. Olive, just so you understand what's going on, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. I feel like if I was to let you go, you would just sneak out of the house in the middle of the night again. And so at this point, I'm just going to wait for your psychological to come back. We're going to do a resource staffing, figure out what needs you really have, and then I'll make an assessment again. I have ordered a placement search. I'm not saying you are going to placement. What I'm saying is that I'm putting that option on the table that will send you to a residential facility in a different state. It'll be 6 to 9 months for you to show that you can actually behave, you can follow instruction, you can respect the rules of where you're staying at, like your level 1.0 here. My concern is that you're able to get a level 1.0 here, and so you're choosing not to be level 1 outstanding at home, that you're choosing to disrespect your mother, you're choosing to disrespect and not follow the rules that are set before you unless you're inside here. So at this point, I want to detain you for a little bit longer and see how you do, if you can keep it up or not, and then we'll look at placement as an option. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I'm willing to spend the resource to figure out if there is one that can actually help you. All right, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Olive? Okay, Mom, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so he's
Thank you, Your Honor.
Toby
Thank
Price.
you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, go
Thank
to
you.
Judge Catalano.
All right.
Hi, Mr. Price, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney, Mr. Green, is here. Good morning, Mr. Green.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. All right. So you have been level 1 outstanding for about a week now. Good. With no priors. And the police were called for a person with weapon call. Went out to location, person holding his head in pain. He talked in Spanish and said the victim's neighbor had footage of the incident. Tall, thin black male seen walking southbound in front of the driveway, walked up the driveway, produced a handgun, searched the pockets, hits him in the head with the gun, and hard enough to knock him down. He was wearing gray sweatpants and a blue hoodie, ran northbound. There's a witness that also saw that. Oh, that was also held at gunpoint, searched his pockets, found nothing, and struck him on the left side of the head with a weapon. There's an eyewitness who followed the suspect to a residence, and your grandfather opened the door, told the police the only people in the house were him and 2 grandsons. So gave consent to search. Jacoby, who closely matched the description, refused to talk to police. They found a realistic looking BB pistol placed in a shoebox. So he was taken into custody without incident. All right, so Mr. Lewis, are you here?
I'm covering for him, Your Honor.
Okay, can you tell me why his behavior level dropped on the 17th? Or did he?
Yes, on the 14th, he had an infraction for repeated improper wearing of the mask.
Are you mom?
I'm his sister.
Your sister. Okay. Why was he living with grandpa?
That's just where they're living at the time.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you say that's just where they're living, where are his parents?
Surgery today.
I beg your pardon?
Today, so she's in a hospital.
So mom is in the hospital?
Yes.
Dad?
Uh,
Can you tell me about dad?
he was in his life, but he was a good dad. He just passed away. I want to say 2 or 3.
Okay, I think you cut out. He passed away 2 or 3 years ago? Hmm?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, our interconnection is kind of lagging. So you said he passed away 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how long has mom been in the hospital?
Just 2 days.
Okay, so back in January, on January 11th,
Uh-huh.
why wasn't he living with his mom?
My mom, they all live together. She's in the hospital, but they all live together.
Okay, with grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Jacoby, I'll be the first one to tell you that I hate these masks. I don't like the masks. I don't believe in the masks. But the rules are the rules, okay? Like, I understand if you're frustrated with the mask. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is you're here in detention knowing you have to get to level 1 outstanding to get out. And it is worth more for you to not fool with the mask than it is to get out, right? And what bothers me about that is you're feeling like the rules don't apply to you, okay? I mean, you know how to get out of here, but you're still wanting to say that I don't care about the rules. Tell you what, Jacoby, if you can make it to February 1st and not drop levels, all right, I will release you on electronic monitor. Okay, so sister, are you willing to take responsibility for your brother?
What do you mean?
Well, so whoever signs out for the child out of our detention facility, you have to sign a piece of paper saying you're taking possession of the child.
Okay.
If he runs away or skips court or cuts off his monitor, I can actually issue a warrant for your arrest, and you would sit in the Tarrant County Jail until we got a hold of Jacoby and brought him back here. All right.
Okay.
So you would be putting your neck on the line for your little brother. Are you willing to do that?
Is that the only way he can get out?
The only way he gets out is for a responsible adult to sign for the child. But the paper literally says that you will ensure his return to court, and it's contempt of court for him to skip court. So what we do is when a child runs away and skips court, we just issue a warrant for the person that signed him out, and they would sit in jail until we recover the child. So you know him better than anybody else. If you've got a job, if you've got children, if you have other responsibilities that you cannot take a chance, I advise you not to take responsibility for them.
Okay. I'll do it. It's fine.
You'll still do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's just coming to court, right? It's the rest of stuff, let's say he violates other things, like an EM violation, I'm not worried about that. We're not going to get a warrant for you. But if he misses court, right, the person signing him out, they are responsible personally for the child to return to court.
Okay, that's fine.
You're okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Jacoby, you're level 1 outstanding. The reason why you dropped doesn't make me happy, but it's not like you got in a fight. It seems like you're mostly controlling yourself. So I just want 14 days at level 1 out. That's what my goal is. So February 1st, if you're still level 1 outstanding, I will release you on electronic monitor. All right. But and that's with conditions of no contact with the victims. I'm assuming they live nearby your house. So you'd have no contact with them. You're able to get out for work, for school, for church. Otherwise, you need to stay at home. Okay? Do you have any questions for me, Jacoby? Yes, sir.
You said I got an infraction from my mask. I didn't even know that.
I'm having trouble understanding you. Can you see?
Your Honor, I'll call him on the phone here in a bit and discuss all that with him.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Jacoby. Peyton Scott. Tough decision by sister, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, mommy signed him up.
Your Honor, just be advised, we're also back on track with the females.
All right, thank you. All right, Hayden, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, then you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Bronson is your attorney. All right, so in December, you went before Judge Terry and see. We had a detention hearing. Judge Terry placed you on a sweat patch and electronic monitor. December, we had a sweat patch. It tested positive for methamphetamine. 2 weeks later, we had another sweat patch positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, and fentanyl. And so we issued a warrant for you. So we're going over here. We had another sweat patch, and you removed it. And so we did a 9-panel drug test. So you had opiates, oxycodone on the presumptive test. Yeah, Peyton, it just looks like you have a really serious drug problem. And he's on probation for a serious offense. Well, no, he's discharged from that. He's on probation now for possession of a controlled substance. Have we started a placement search for this child?
No, Your Honor. He has a psych eval scheduled for February 7th. It'll be due back on the 15th, and it's due for staffing on the 21st.
Okay. Go ahead and put that in line for a placement search. I mean, the child turned 17, so we're going to start running out of time. Yeah, he just turned 17. Yeah, Mr. Williams, I think this is kind of our last-ditch effort to help him before he ages out of the system. So, Mom, is that you here?
I'm his grandfather.
Oh, Grandpa, I'm sorry. Your face is cut off by the letters on your name. All right. So, Grandpa, I'm going to go ahead and detain him for now because I feel like this is the only way to keep him from using street drugs and possibly killing himself, or, as I like to say, even worse, not killing himself. He was to have a massive stroke or aneurysm because of the drug use and end up in a vegetative state. The fentanyl's scary. So, also, Mr. Williams, have we taken a hair sample for a test?
No, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a hair follicle test so we know exactly what we're dealing with here. And so that may help with the resource staffing as well. All right. Or nail bed test, either one. I don't care. All right. So Peyton, do you understand why I'm detaining you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have to have this conversation with you since you are now 17 years old. The law allows me to keep you in the downtown jail or here at Kimbo. If you drop under level 1 outstanding, then I will, if you drop under level 1, I will send you downtown to wait your case out. So
it won't happen. I'm just trying to keep my head down and get through my time here. I'm trying to get done with my drugs. Being here has really made me realize that this is not what I want for my life. And I'm really just trying to get better for my family.
No, I'm really glad to hear you say this. Take care of your business and just do the right thing. Here's the one thing that makes me kind of want to send you is that if you go downtown, you'll see all the other people downtown that are there for street drugs, for the possession under a gram, all those cases. And you'll just have to sit there and see them come in and out. And since you can't make bond on a juvenile case, you will spend months seeing all these people come in, make bond, get out, come back in. Other people come in, go to TDC, all for these street drugs. And you'll see your future parading in front of your eyes. I don't want to do that, but that's kind of in the back of my mind, part of why I actually wanted you to go downtown. But I'm consistent with my word. I already promised you last time, if you stay at level 1, I'll keep you here. So I'm not going to go back on my word. All right. All right, Peyton, keep up the behavior level, and we're going to try and figure out how we can help you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Felicity Willingham.
This is the young lady that was first on the docket. Do you want her or do you want to go to Willingham?
No, put them to the bottom. So I'm just going down the list.
Willingham. Come on, hurry up.
Hello, Ms. Willingham. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney, Ms. Okoye, is here. Good morning, Violet.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, so, Felicity, your level 1 outstanding. Back January 11th, there was a domestic disturbance and the contact with your mom, who said that you were a habitual runaway. You ran away from Aunt's house and were gone for 3 hours. She is saying that you can no longer stay there because of a fight on New Year's. When mom got there, you were lying upstairs in the bed and told mom you're not going to go with her. So when she grabbed your leg to move off the bed, you kicked her, stood up, struck her 3 times in the face, and pulled her hair. And so you're arrested for assault family violence. Ms. Castillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are the unauthorized use of motor vehicle and evading arrest? What are those from?
That is what originally placed her on probation. She took her mother's car and got in a car accident and it flipped.
Okay, so she's on probation when then she gets in an argument that makes her unwelcome at her aunt's house, and then when mom picks her up, allegedly strikes mom for not following her mom's instruction either. Is that about fair? Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so Felicity, I see your hand is raised. If you have a question for me, I don't mind answering your question, and your attorney probably doesn't mind me answering your question. If you want to tell me something, I'm certain your attorney does not want you to tell me anything, okay? So if you have a question for me, a question starts with the word who, what, when, where, how, why. Okay, so do you have a question for me?
I would like to tell you something.
No. Your attorney does not want you to tell me anything. Okay. I can answer a question.
Felicity, we've talked about this.
You say you'll let me tell him something.
Okay. So again, nobody wants you to tell me anything. This is not the time. This is not your trial. This is simply about detaining you or not detaining you. Okay. I'm trying to protect your rights by limiting you to questions and not telling me anything. Okay?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Well, ask my PO or attorney a question.
That's not a question. What's the question?
Can I ask my PO a question?
No, you cannot ask your PO a question. You can ask me a question if you have a question for me. You have a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is your question?
So that means I'm gonna be detained?
That means that is not a question. So what is your question? It starts with who, what, when, where, how, why. All right, Felicity, yes, I am detaining you. I feel like if I let you go, you would just run away, or you would cause more problems by not respecting your mom or your aunt or any other adult.
I can talk to my aunt. She said I can come back to her house. I'll talk to her and she said that.
And that may be the case, but I'm not comfortable releasing you. Okay? My decision, not hers. Angel Young.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Koye.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did I be able to see you?
Sir.
This is out of custody detention hearing. I have permission for Zoom. Okay. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. All right. So, Angel, we have this detention hearing. The decision is whether to issue a warrant for you to in custody, or for you to remain in the community. If I end up detaining you, once you're here, you have a right to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. All right. So, back in February, there was a referral for Fort Worth PD. Oh, I understand this one. Okay, so throughout this whole process after referral, I've never seen you. So in this case, we have one involving a victim. And I'm trying to figure out, do we have a parent here for Angel?
Yes.
Okay, so Mom,
Yes.
I'm trying to stay out of the details, but please answer my questions very specifically. So who is Angel living with right now?
His grandmother.
His grandmother. Are there any other children in that home?
No, sir.
Okay. Does he have access to other children?
No. He has a job.
Okay. Where does his job at?
He works at a college.
At a college. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. I want you to answer my questions very specifically, please.
Yes.
Right. And so you said your grandma?
It's his grandmother.
Okay, so you're a mom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you live in that home as well?
No.
Okay, where do you currently live?
I have a different house.
In Lubbock County?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a reason why Angel's not living with you?
Because my daughter resides with me.
Okay. Is Angel currently in school?
No, he works.
He works. Has he graduated?
No.
Okay. GED?
Practicing.
Practicing, okay. All right. Okay, Angel, it looks like you being in the community is fine. What I'm going to do is I am going to put the restriction that you have to have no unsupervised contact with anyone under 16 years old, okay?
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I give you a drug test today, would you pass it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I do smoke weed, sir. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, well, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and now, let's see. Mr. Lewis, are you here? Or are you covering Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, will JPD in Lubbock County give us courtesy UAs or testing?
I will ask, Your Honor. They were going to serve him with a summons for us.
Okay, yeah, if we can. What I would like to do is get a UA sample, send it off to the lab, and then we'll go ahead and ask for monthly UAs, all right, just to make sure the levels are going down. So Angel, while you have a pending case, you cannot smoke marijuana. I'm not going to issue a warrant for you now, all right? This is the first time we're meeting. Even though you should know better, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, okay?
Yes, sir.
So at this point, you just need to stop smoking weed or using any kind of illegal substance, right?
Understandable.
When we get your urine sample, we will send it to the lab and we'll get the levels. And as long as the levels are going down, then you're fine. So even if you're positive and your levels are going down, it's fine. It's just if the levels go up, we've got an issue. You understand?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, what I'd like to do is get a weekly until it's 0, and then we'll go with monthly. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. And are you also ordering no contact with the victim?
Yes, no contact with a victim, no unsupervised.
Okay.
So supervised means a responsible adult. All right, Angel. Mom, do you understand the conditions that I'm setting?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Judge, can I just say, Angel, will you call me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we'll go back to the top, Shacolby Jackson.
En route, sir. Jackson. Jackson. Come on, man. He's in the middle of it. Come on.
Sierra, please don't block your camera with the phone. Thank you. Just if you lay the phone down, that's fine. Or you can turn your camera off. I don't mind. All right, Jacolby.
Yes, ma'am. She's on medical isolation. We're getting her back up right now.
All right, thank you, sir. Hello, Ms. Jackson. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. The attorney appointed for the time being is Mr. Houston. Good morning, Mr. Houston.
Hello.
All right, Jacolby. So you're 17 years old. You're on probation for assaulting a peace officer or a judge until your 18th birthday, and probation for a misdemeanor assault family violence until your 18th birthday. Yesterday, Grand Prairie Police brought you in on a warrant because you're a runaway. You've been living with your mom in California since September. You came to Fort Worth in January. We're delayed going back to California. On January 19th, mom contacted us and said that you were giving her problems and left a couple days before to stay with friends. You have a 1-month-old daughter and took the baby with you. She said she gave you permission to leave, but didn't. Wait, Ms. Huey, is that a typo?
Yes, she did not give her permission to leave. She didn't try to stop her, but told her just to do the right thing.
Okay. Mom said that Ann was trying to help Jacolby out with a baby. Mom is saying you're an adult now. It's up to make your own arrangements to return where the mom was staying. We had an administrative hearing, and there's agreement that you're supposed to return to your mom and then return to California. You try to get a ride back to your mom. The arrangements fell through. Then y'all notified us that you're gonna stay with an aunt in Dallas, but the aunt never agreed to this. You stopped responding to calls. You turned off your phone. Locator. So we should have warrant for you. What happened to the baby, Miss Huey? Oh, CPS?
The baby is, yes, the baby is with the mother. The aunt, one of her aunts was able to go pick up the baby over the weekend, and then CPS was involved and had a meeting yesterday and has given temporary guardianship to the mother.
Okay, so how old is this baby?
She is just over a month old. She was born in December 20th.
Do you know if the child is breastfeeding?
She is not.
But she's using marijuana around 1 month old, evidently.
Yes.
All right. Have we turned the results of the drug test over to CPS?
Not yet. I just became aware of that this morning, so I'll call that in. They've got an open case right now, so I'll add it to that report.
We need to send that over to them.
Your Honor, I see that her mother's not on. I just talked to her a little bit ago and she was supposed to be on. She's actually in Amarillo on her way back to California. So there must be an issue that she's not able to get on to the Zoom.
The baby's with the mom on the way to California?
Yes.
All right, Jacoby, if anything, I'm going to detain you to protect the baby from you. So you cannot be using drugs around a 1-month-old baby. And if anything, it's not necessarily the drugs itself, but it's the drug culture. There's other people. You'd be surprised. We actually have kids in here right now for a murder charge over $40 worth of weed. So when you're around people doing illegal things, then that creates a dangerous situation for children. And so it's just a shame. So Jacoby, do you have a question for me or do you want to tell me something? If you want to tell me something, your attorney wants you to stay quiet, but if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it.
No, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Why do you think I was using marijuana around my daughter?
Because you have a 1-month-old baby that you're in possession of and caring for, and you're positive for marijuana. Okay? So, and again, I'm not saying that you're necessarily smoking in front of your child. What I'm saying is you're involved with people committing illegal acts that people are willing to shoot each other over. And so I am protecting your baby from a situation where she may get shot or kidnapped or other things happening. Right? It's not okay to break the law, especially now that you're a parent and you have a 1-month-old baby that you need to take care of.
I was in California where it's...
Hold on a second. You're not asking a question. You're just telling me something at this point, right? So the thing is I don't mind answering questions. Your attorney does not want you to tell me anything. So Ms. Huey, at this point, let's figure out what CPS's safety plan is for the baby. And once they deal with that, they may end up transferring the case to California or passing jurisdiction. But if the baby's safe, I think I'm generally okay with letting this child go. But until I know the baby is safe, I don't think it's appropriate to do so.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Jacoby.
Thank you.
Breland Jordan. All right, Ms. Jordan, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. If the right to remain silent, you have a right to an attorney. Mr. Berger has been appointed as your attorney. So, hold on, Mr. Nava, what's FEPF?
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. That should be Fort Worth Police Department.
Fort Worth, okay. All right, so Breland, Fort Worth PD brought you in saying yesterday about 7 o'clock in the morning, tried to pull over a vehicle for a traffic stop after running a stop sign while exiting a motel. Vehicle accelerated, police turned on their lights, ran several stop signs before turning into a Days Inn and into a parking spot. It was identified as you. Do we have a parent here?
Your Honor, Mom said she wasn't going to be present. She was upset at her daughter. Apparently, the vehicle that she used was her grandmother's. And she's also mentioned that she's a runner.
Was the Days Inn that she pulled into the same Days Inn that she pulled out of?
Yes, sir. I looked at the maps and she drove around the Days Inn block.
And she pulled into a parking spot?
Yes, sir.
Am I pronouncing your name? Is it Breland or Breland?
Breland.
Breland. Look, Breland, you don't need to mess with me. Okay? I'm betting you're actually pretty smart. You actually know how to toe the line, push boundaries, but you know when to say when. Okay, that's my guess. Right now, my read on you. What I have to warn you about is you're getting old enough now with the decisions that you make. When you cross the line, they end up with you getting arrested. It's not like when you're like 8, 10, 12 years old, right? Where your defiance or your breaking the rules are small things that the law doesn't care about. You're now older and putting yourself in a situation where if you cross the line, you're doing things that the law does care about, okay? You don't need to be here. Right? I don't want you here. I think you can be fine at home as long as you understand until you're 18, you're stuck. You have to follow the rules, all right? And that's just, you may not like it, but that's what it is. And so at this point, I have to detain you because I can't just let a 15-year-old girl out on the streets. Okay? So what I need is your mom to come back and say she's willing to take you. And I'm okay releasing you, but now that you're here, and this is a consequence of your decision, is that if you're not a level 1 outstanding, I'm not going to let you go. Even if your mom comes here begging for me to let you go, if you're not a level 1 outstanding, I'm not going to do it. You'll just stay here until you either behave or we have to send you off to TJJD. Okay? This is kind of the situation you put yourself in. So just get your behavior level to level 1 outstanding. Your mom, hopefully you and your mom will start making phone calls. You probably need to apologize to her and ask her to apologize to your grandma for disrespecting her and convince her that if you come home that, and you'll be on electronic monitor, but when you come back to your mom's house or home, that you will follow her rules and you'll be respectful, okay? That's your plan on getting out of here. Or if you like it here, just do whatever you want and you can stay here for a while. Okay, Breland, do you have any questions for me?
No.
All right, I'm kind of laying it out for you. It's really that simple. Take care of your business, follow the rules, show some respect, and you get to go home and you can follow the rules, take care of your business, and show some respect. But if you fail here or if you fail at home, you'll be spending time in the juvenile justice system. Okay? All right, thank you.
Judge.
So at this point, these proceedings have been made public because of the Open Courts Act. However, the Texas Family Code specifically states that when a child is under 14 years old, that the hearings are presumed to be closed to the public unless the court finds the interest of the public or the interest of the child would be better served by opening the hearings to the public. Being unable to make such a finding, I will now discontinue the live stream of this broadcast. Please be patient for 20 seconds for the tape delay.